Okay, next topic related to 802.1x is phasing. So basically there are three mode, you can say three mode and two phase. Okay, I would say phase one. Phase one is monitor mode. This is called phase one, and other two mode is called phase two. So it's clear there are two phases. But if you say mode, then there are three different mode of 802.1x. So let's discuss. The first one is monitor mode. Monitor mode, also called open mode or audit mode, because we can use this mode for audit purpose. This is phase 1 of IEEE 802.1x. Basically, monitor mode work like a audit or open mode, as I told you, and there is no impact on production because everything will be allowed without any restriction, without anything. And monitor mode audit log can be used to understand what is going on in your network. You can use this monitor mode of .1x so that everybody can access your network, and then you can check them for troubleshooting purpose, audit purpose, whatever, and you can check who log in, who access the network. So in this way you will understand each and everything in your network. So for that purpose you can use monitor mode. Even in monitor mode or open mode or audit mode, if authentication fail, still you will access the network. It means even if the authentication fail, still you can access the network. Keep in mind this point. I will show you in the lab. Administrator use this monitor mode to verify that all the devices are authenticating or not. So administrator can use this monitor mode to check from the logs, from logs, like here authentication is fail, authentication fail. So from here you can easily verify the devices. Administrator use monitor mode to log the data for verification purpose, to be honest, in simple words. Also, monitor mode can be used to get the information which user are getting successful and which user are get fail to authenticate. So it means you can use this mode that check which user are getting successfully authenticate and which user not authenticate successfully, either machines. Fail authentication can be solved without affecting end user access to the network. So it means we can use this mode. So if some user are not authenticated properly, we will sort out what is the issue, why he is not authenticated properly. And end of the day, the user, either the device will not affect, still they can access the resources, because this is a monitor mode, and monitor mode, even if your authentication is failed, you can still access the resources. So there will be no effect on user or machine. And monitor mode authentication may be .1x or MAB authentication. You can use these mode in both, either in .1x, either in MAB authentication bypass. You can use the three mode in both. Monitor or audit mode can use radius accounting packet and open authentication. We already know they are using open authentication. That's why it's called open as well, open mode. Monitor mode also use radius multi-authentication feature to provide visibility. Of course, we are using this to check the visibility, the devices, user who accessing your network. Monitor mode or audit mode or open mode is applicable to wire environment only. So we can use this mode only in wire rather than in wireless. So this was the first mode, monitor mode. Let me show you this one, then we will go to the other two mode. So this is mode. Monitor mode authentication is open and full access, the green one. IEEE.1x wire mode. So at monitor mode, it means authentication will be open for everyone. Everyone can take entry and they can access each and everything. And if you want to configure them, so it will be like this open mode. Under the interface, you need to type authentication open. That's it. And let me show you from here. Monitor mode means authentication open, and monitor mode here from picture, they pass or fail authentication, still you can access the resources. Port open unconditionally, still you can access file server, web server, whatever you like, you will access. Even if you type a wrong password, you type a wrong username, even if the configuration is wrong, still you will access. Even you are not authorized, still you will access all these things. I will show you. If I can show you from here, so before authentication everything is allowed, and after authentication everything is allowed. Traffic always allowed irrespective of authentication status. It means everything is allowed, even it's like an open port. Everybody can enter and they can do whatever they like and they will access each and everything. So I show you from here, and this is the command to type, and this is the way to configure them. And this monitor mode authentication is open and full access you will get. So let me show you from lab. So let me go to my lab. So I have a Windows PC which connected to 0/1. And let me open this switch 0/1 interface, enable, and show running interface E0/1. So this is my configuration. Mode is access, VLAN 20, Windows 10 is connected to this interface, just a description. And it will check fail action, it will check the next method. We have two methods, .1x first and then MAB authentication. And we already discussed in last lecture about host mode. We are using multi authentication, so it's not an issue. And we are using MAB as well. So .1x is also configured on this interface and MAB is also configured. .1x is enable under this interface, and this is the timeout period 10 seconds, and we say port fast, so the port will be quickly up rather than it will use spanning tree. We know about this. So these are my configuration under this interface where Windows 10 is connected. Now my concern is this one. Right now authentication port control, I'm using this one. So basically these three mode which we are talking about, especially we are talking about this one. Let me show you, and let me question mark. These are, sorry, authentication, only authentication. We discuss about these. Here is authentication, there is open, enable or disable open access on this port. So if I say authentication open, under this interface show running interface E0/1. So now I say authentication is open. It means no restriction. Even wrong username and password will get access. Even whatever, they will access the everything. They will get IP, they will get each and everything. And that's what we are talking about, monitor mode. So you just need to type under interface this command, it will make the interface open. So if it is open, so it means I will connect without any restriction. So let me go to this Windows 10 and let me disable this one. And let me enable to authenticate again, and let's see I am connecting or not, I am getting each and everything or not. So how can I check? Show authentication session. Okay, yeah, I did not put any username and password. Let me put something wrong username and password, still it will authenticate me. So let me go to save credential and let me put test and C1. and password I will put 123, wrong password, keep in mind. Okay and okay and okay. Let's see now that what will happen. Still I did not get authentication, so I need to, okay, attempting to authenticate. It's trying to authenticate. Okay, and let's check out. Okay, let me go to configuration, interface E0/1, shutdown, and no shutdown to clear clear authentication session. And now I can check now, show authentication session. So you see I'm connected even with wrong username and password. I put 123, even the exit password is abc@12345, but still I'm connected, the method is unknown. And if I check again, so this is my MAC address, and look it now. If I say show authentication interface, show authentication session interface E0/1 detail, let me go to detail. They say that authorize and authentication may be fail because the username and password is wrong, and it's showing here, by the way, authentication fail, and it's correct. If I go there and check here, and radius log again is telling that this user with C1, let's see what is the issue. They say authentication fail because I put a wrong username and password, but I just want to check. So they say that authentication fail, user authentication against Active Directory fail since user has entered wrong password. And yes, I put deliberately wrong password. But let me go. Can I access the resources? Did I get the IP? Yes, because this is an open authentication. So if I say IP config, okay, and let me see, did I get IP address? It should be. Yeah, so if it is showing me, why is taking, yeah, so I get IP address. It means I can access the resources. What is the resources? Let me ping some resources. 210, let me ping 210. So I'm in my window which authenticate. For some reason it's a bit slow, so ping 192.168.100.210. It should be ping. Yes, reply is coming. I can ping 210. Let me try 230. Of course, I will ping that one as well. And let me change them to 230. Can I ping 230 as well? Yes. Even authentication is fail, and am I accessing each and everything. Did you understand what I'm saying? Because of monitor mode, because I put the interface on monitor mode, because I put the interface open, because I put the interface on audit mode, and this is called phase 1 of .1x. And monitor mode, I told you all these highlighted thing that you will get access even if you put wrong username, wrong password, wrong token, wrong certificate, each and everything, still they will allow you because of this only one command. And that command which I put under the interface is, let me show you again. You see .1x is stop. Even Maybase authenticate successfully, but still they allowed me, the authentication was failed. And show running interface E0/1. Only because of this command, I say that allowed whatever the situation is. Even if the detail is wrong, allowed them. Only due to this single command. And this what I written here. This is called monitor mode. Authentication is open, full access, and I'm getting full access. And this what I mentioned here under the interface. I say authentication open. That's why. And this the reason that I can still, even the port is unconditionally open for each and everything, and I can access my Active Directory, I can access file server, I can access each and everything. This was monitor mode, and before it was allowed and after it is allowed, no difference. Let's go to second mode. Second mode is low impact mode and .1x. Low impact mode is security is added over the framework. It means you are still running monitor mode, but you add some extra security. It means low impact mode is same like a monitor mode, but with pre-built ACL on the switch. You put some ACL under the interface to restrict the user. Otherwise, it's still open. Low impact basically basic access to authenticate ingress and ACL you apply. It means you put ACL under the interface. So you put some extra restriction. Otherwise, each and everything is same like a monitor mode. It means the ACL will restrict the port to access the resources. Otherwise, it's still like a open mode. If a user authenticates successfully, additional resource may have been granted and you can restrict them as well. And it will grant specific access, whatever you mention in your ACL. You can allow DHCP and DNS to get IP, and then you can put restriction to block internal resources. Either it will download the ACL, but we will create normally you need to create in your switch. Let me show you from here. Low impact mode, the authentication is still open like this one, but there is pre-ACL configure. You have still full access, but possible decals. You see, this is low impact mode. And how we can configure them? So this is still open. Keep in mind, low impact mode authentication open is still there, but you put in ACL. This ACL will restrict the PC. How? So let me configure ACL. Let me copy this one. So I say IP access list extended with the name default ACL, permit UDP, and deny each and everything. UDP means it will allow like DNS and DHCP to get IP, and then it will restrict each and everything. And then I will say that apply this one. So let me go to switch to make this port as a low impact mode. How? Only one extra command. First I need to create ACL. So my ACL name is default ACL. I say permit UDP and show me logs here and deny IP. And now what I will do, I will apply this under my interface. Authentication open command is already there, no need, but anyway. So let me go to interface and I restrict them. Let me show you now. Show running interface E0/1. So what extra step I done? Authentication open is still there, like a open mode, audit mode. The only thing I put ACL, and this ACL will stop this ping. Before it was pinging each and everything. So let me reconnect, let me disable this one, and also let me clear the authentication. Clear authentication session, okay, and show authentication session. So nothing is there. Let me connect again and let's see this time what gonna happen. Okay, so I hope so authentication will fail, but look at the logs. It's showing by that ACL. Okay, and let's see, show authentication session. Again I get access. Even fail authentication, but I get access. And let's see, did I get the IP address? So CLS, and let me type IP config. Yes, I still get the IP address. The only difference is I can NS lookup. I can do NS lookup. Sorry, NS, because UDP is allowed. Look at, I can do DNS entry and ISE1 suppose. Yes, it's showing me DNS is working, DHCP is working because UDP I allowed. Can I ping before I can ping those two IPs? Let ping. No. And you will see the ACL here. It say deny ICMP because of ACL. Because we put ACL, show access list. This is my access list. There are many, so let me put the only that one. And that name was, the ACL name was this one. Copy and paste, sorry. Sorry, this default was small, I believe. Yeah, so look at now, 48 matches with permit and 55 matches with deny. So it means there is no huge difference. The only difference in low impact mode, you put ACL to bring some restriction, and that ACL you can deny or allowed anything, whatever you like. Even you can say any, it will be like a monitor mode. But again, there is a difference, means if you attach ACL with open mode, so this is called low impact mode. Because I enable logs for ACL, that's why you can see these logs. So whenever it's deny, it will show you, like if I try again, there will be 4 deny 1, it will show you the deny here. Because I attach ACL here and also I enable logs. So that's why it will show you the logs here. So if I go back, so it means low impact mode is only like a monitor mode, but you put some restriction. So the user will not access each and everything. It will be not like a full access. Okay, so this was low impact mode. And if I go back to the other image, if I have, yeah, so low impact mode, this before authentication, okay, and now after authentication, there is ACL, pre-auth ACL, permit, here DHCP and DNS is allowed, and then each and everything is deny, and permit ACL IP any. So after, before authentication and after authentication, whatever you can put the ACL, how you want to configure these ACL, it's up to you. So this is the difference between monitor mode and low impact. The only difference is the ACL. And if I go to low impact mode, so before nothing was allowed and after everything was allowed. But there is pre-authentication and post-authentication access control by IP ACL. The ACL which I configure and I put restriction. And now let's go to the last mode. I hope so you understand. And this is the mode. By the way, this is also phase 2 and this is also phase 2. There are 2 phases. Close mode is also lies in second phase. Close mode formerly called high secure mode. Close mode only allowed EAPOL traffic. Encapsulation over LAN protocol only. Before authentication, nothing is allowed. N.1x, the EAPOL traffic is allowed until the authentication take place. Whereas happen in close mode, specific access after successful authentication. Close mode is a default behavior and most restrictive method. Yes, and this one you will see most of the time in real world. Any traffic before authentication will be dropped, even if it is a DHCP, DNS, ARP, whatever. Until you get authentication, you will not be allowed. How we configure this one? So you need to remove the ACL interface E0/1, and I need to remove this ACL first. Sorry, no. Control A, no. Remove the ACL and authentication open. It was open. Remove this one. No authentication, open. Let me show you another thing. So I remove no authentication, open, and no IP access group. And let me see show interface E0/1. So now this is my setting. There is no open authentication and there is no access list. Let me clear authentication session first and let's try again here. What will happen? Because my username and password is wrong, and let's see what will happen. Let's see it will allow me or not. Authentication fail. It's still showing me ACL deny even though it wasn't show authentication session. And show authentication session interface E0/1 detail. So it's unauthorized. The status is unauthorized. Did I get IP? I don't think so. I will get IP. IP config. No, it's a PIPA. I did not get IP. Why? Because this is not monitor mode. This is not low impact mode. This is called auto mode. We call them auto mode as well, and close mode. You will get IP address if your authentication is successful, then. But my authentication is not successful. I'm using a wrong username and password. How they will allow me to get IP address? So first I need to correct my IP address. Second, under the interface E0/1 authentication. What is the command? Port control auto. I need to put this command as well. If I go down now in close mode, the red one, no access list, only EAPOL is allowed. I told you, you will get full access or possible decal, but first you need to authenticate. And the configuration is like this: authentication port control auto. This command I just put. You need to put this command, and you need to remove no authentication open, and you need to remove no IP access group default. And if I check here, close mode is only EAP allowed before authentication. And when you authenticate successfully, then you can access the resources as per your authentication, as per your authorization. And if I show you from this image, so before nothing is allowed. Even I cannot get the IP address. Even I cannot get DNS. If I authenticate successfully, then I can get access for each and everything. But how? I need to fix first my username. So I need to go to authentication. I need to click additional setting, replace credential, and first test C1 with correct username. And I put this time the correct ABC@12345. This time is okay, and okay, and okay, and let them authenticate. If it is authenticated successfully, then I will get, yes, right now I get the IP now. But if I put wrong username and password, it will never give me the correct. Now I get the IP. Before it was a PIPA. Now I get the correct IP. You get what I'm saying? So this is called close mode and show authentication session. Now I say that this is .1x data and authentication successful. And even if I say interface E0/1 detail, so it say that authorized, status is authorized, and each and everything is okay. And I've been use method .1x successfully authenticated because username and password is okay. And also I put this command under the interface that use, where is authentication port control auto, use the auto mode. If user put each and everything correctly, give them access. If not, don't give them access. That's it. This in simple words I would say close mode like this. Low impact mode is open, but you will put in restriction due to ACL. And open mode you will get each and everything, no restriction, and it's clear from here. Monitor mode, low impact mode, close mode. Authentication open, here also authentication open plus the ACL. Full access and limited access. Close mode, no access, only EAPOL protocol, and you will get access possibly if you authenticate successfully. So these were the three mode, either two phases. Monitor mode is called phase 1, and low impact mode and close mode is called phase 2. So there are two phases, and I would say three different mode of .1x. Okay, so that's it. Let me go through if I miss something, and I show you from there as well, and that's it.